just want to tell you a quick story, a little bit about my background. Approximately a year ago, I weighed 105 kilograms, quite a high body percentage of body fat, and to be honest, I was feeling a little bit sorry for myself. I was starting to suffer with painful joints. I had quite bad asthma. In addition to that, I was losing flexibility. I felt I was losing flexibility in my body. And to be honest, I was losing a little bit of self-esteem. But at the end of the day, we do all get older, so you have to put that into perspective. But anyway, I had the opportunity of working abroad in China actually. I was going to be there, I was actually there for 8 weeks. In the first 3 weeks, I was in my hotel room, and it was the end of the second week actually. I woke up and I noticed that my asthma was seriously better. I couldn't really pinpoint it. Had a shower, looked in the mirror, and also started to notice that my skin, a lot of eczema and small rashes, which I was always conscious of, had started to disappear. Again, didn't really think anything of it. Approximately a week later, I started to notice that my joints weren't quite so painful. At that point, as you can imagine, these are quite life-changing incidents really, because I could already feel a big improvement in the quality of my life. So this went on for the duration of while I was working out there, and at the time my goal wasn't really fitness. I hadn't set myself a target for any life-changing improvements, but these were happening, and I couldn't really pinpoint why. So anyway, fast forward a few weeks, I'd come back to the UK, and I felt I needed to research, because by that time my asthma had completely gone. My skin was it was looking better than it had ever looked for years, quite honestly. And I started to research, and while I was researching, I discovered that the reason why I was experiencing these dramatic changes was really diet. It was food intake. While I was working in China, I wasn't eating so much European highly processed style food, which is your high sugar content food, things like breakfast cereal. You don't really eat too much bread in China. So I'd cut out a lot of that highly processed bread that I used to eat. I wasn't eating so much tinned food. It was kind of mostly fresh, obviously high carbs with rice. Typically in China, a lot of meats, a lot of stews, but they were tended to be freshly cooked. And this was really something that I just accepted whilst I was working abroad and didn't really think much of it. So really, the improvements that I was experiencing were found by accident almost. And then with my research, the highly processed food, I started to realise just how bad it is. And I don't think we're aware fully as individuals, as we go about our daily lives, just how appallingly bad a lot of the food is that we consume in the UK. So this really inspired me to, as I was feeling better, to get back into the gym. My joints were 100% improved, and get into the gym, get back to doing a routine, a workout routine, and really regain the love of fitness again. which is something I'd lost out of my life. So that story, that simple story, has actually inspired quite a few of my friends and colleagues to also maybe change their diets and look to improving their fitness as well, because it's a massive life-changing experience. This channel is really not about me as an influencer saying, look at me, aren't I wonderful? It's maybe to give you guys a little bit of inspiration, because really you're joining me at the start of this journey. I've now, over this last year, lost a lot of weight. I've put on a lot of muscle. I feel a lot better. And my goal as someone in their mid-50s is what can be achieved. You know, how far can I actually push my body? And I think as you get older, you'll be quite surprised actually how hard you can push it and how hard you can train, and the incredible benefits that quite honestly you can experience. So what I'd ask you to do is, with this channel, have an open mind, watch some of my training sessions. I'm an older guy, I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not going to be entering myself into the next Olympia. I'm an honest guy, you know, and my aims are really to continue to develop a good muscular physique, have a body that gives me a little bit of confidence, and I found that my confidence has grown exponentially over the last year or so through getting back to the gym. Obviously you have the release of endorphins, the feel good, you know, that feel good aspect of going to the gym, but there's so many other benefits. I lift as heavy as I can. My regiment with being in the gym is really quality over quantity. I train with a high intensity approach, so I try and keep good form, but I lift as heavy as I can, and I kind of concentrate on the big compound movements, which is obviously your bench press, your deadlifts, squats. I think they're the most effective. I've seen the most results from them. Again, comment, you know, your comments, and maybe some of your advice would be really welcome. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.